You know, it's interesting, isn't it, how people love films like Gladiator, Braveheart, the 300, the Spartans. They look for heroes, and then, but yeah, I love those films. They're great films. But who is the real hero? Who is the real hero of history? Who would you say? The man who was anointed the Messiah. I just opened the Bible, which inspired this video. Matthew 27. This is from the Easy Reading New Living Translation. Okay. Verse 11 onwards. Jesus' trial before Pilate. So follow me through on this. About the real hero, our big brother, Messiah. What's going on here? Hang on a second. I've got interference. Alright, okay. Matthew 27 verse 11. Now Messiah was standing before Pilate, the Roman governor. Are you the king of the Jews? Pilate asked him. Messiah said, yes, as you say. But when the leading priests and other leaders made their accusations against him, Messiah remained silent. That's a good lesson for us, by the way. We haven't got to respond to every argument. Messiah remained silent. And Pilate said, don't you hear there are many charges against you? Messiah said nothing. Interesting. Much to Pilate's surprise. Now, it was the governor Pilate's custom to release one prisoner to the crowd each year during the Passover celebration. Anyone they wanted, the Jews. Now this year there was a notorious criminal in prison, a man named Barabbas. Now Barabbas is quite interesting. He probably ripped off his own people and Romans. As the crowds gathered before Pilate's house that morning, he asked them, which one do you want me to release to you, Barabbas or this Jesus called Messiah? Pilate knew very well the Jewish leaders had arrested Jesus out of envy. Repeat this. Pilate knew very well the Jewish leaders had arrested Jesus out of envy. Now just then, as Pilate was sitting on the judgment seat, his wife sent him the message, leave that innocent man alone. I had a terrible nightmare about him last night. And that's interesting. I won't go into that now. Meanwhile, the leading priests and other leaders persuaded the crowds to ask for Barabbas to be released and for Messiah Jesus to be put to death. So when Pilate asked again, which one of these two do you want me to release to you? And the crowd shouted back, Barabbas! Pilate said, if I release Barabbas, what shall I do with this Jesus who is called Messiah? And they shouted, impale him! Why? Pilate demanded. What crime has he committed? The crowd only roared the louder, impale him! Now Pilate saw he wasn't getting anywhere and the riot was developing. So he went for a bowl of water and washed his hands before the crowd, saying, "I'm innocent of the blood of this man. The responsibility is yours." You see, the Romans were really stoic people. They weren't swayed by emotion. All the people yelled back, "We will take responsibility for his death. We and our children." Oh, wow. Wow, wow, wow. Didn't that come true 40 years later when Jerusalem was smashed? Not only did they nail Messiah, they nailed all the apostles and stoned them, and James, especially the last one, was the final death blow for those Jews in 70 AD. James, the brother of Messiah, half-brother. The people yelled back, "We will take responsibility for his death, we and our children." Notice that point. So Pilate released Barabbas to them. Now here we go. This is quite deep. So Pilate ordered Messiah to be flogged with a lead-tipped whip. Do you know what the Roman whip was? It was with pieces of bone and metal. Messiah was shredded. Then they turned Messiah over to the Roman soldiers to impale him. Now can you imagine this, right? You're shredded to pieces. Ripped to pieces. Some of the governor's soldiers took Messiah into the headquarters and called out their entire battalion. Think about that. Their entire battalion. A lot of people, a lot of soldiers. The Romans, they stripped him and put a scarlet robe on him. They made a crown of long, sharp thorns and put it on his head. Now, have you ever had a thorn or a splinter in a finger? Oh man, damn, that hurts, doesn't it? Imagine that. A crown of thorns, long thorns, shoved onto your head. Pause. They placed a stick on his right hand as a scepter. They knelt before him in mockery, yelling, "Hail, King of the Jews!" In Latin, Rex Judorum, Ecce Rex Judorum. They spit on him. They grabbed the stick and beat him on the head with it. Now, let's get real here. He's got a thorn of crowns on his head. Now he gets battered on the head with a stick. When they were finally tired, worn out of mocking him, they took off the robe, put his own clothes on again, then they led him to be impaled. Can you picture that? Then when he's being impaled, the Jews cried out, "Ha! Others he saved, he can't save himself. Come on down then." He's calling out to Elijah. He's saying, "Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani." He's calling Elijah. "Oh, come on down then." Talk about self-control, man. You're dying there in agony before being impaled, right? spat upon. And the Jews, his own people, are mocking him further. And what does he say? Father, forgive them. They do not know what they're doing. The man, Messiah. Not God-man come down, not Michael the Archangel come down. That was a man, better than you or I will ever be. Do you recognize the Messiah? Do you respect his suffering? Do you? This was no pantomime, God come down in flesh, or Michael the Archangel. This was a man who suffered for you and me, big time. We bitch if we got ill. Oh, I got a splinter in my finger. We will be glorified if we are willing to endure the sufferings of the Christ. We will probably not go through what he went through. We might face beheading. Well, that's quite quick. But what he went through was prolonged, for many, many hours, prolonged. Torn to pieces, mocked, spat upon, and yet he says, Father, forgive them. They don't know what they're doing. But the Jews got the backlash. After Messiah's death, they killed all the apostles, the Pharisees, etc. Then James, the final one, was the final nail in the coffin. That's why Jerusalem was smashed in 70 AD. Recognize the true man who rescued you. The last Adam. Adam didn't go through this, the first Adam, the second Adam. Think about that. Adam had one test, not to eat one fruit. That's quite simple. The last Adam went through many trials, and that's why he can sympathize with our weaknesses, because he was fully tested in all respects. Respect the man, Yahushua HaMashiach, not God-man, not Michael the Archangel, the man. Shalom.